Hey everyone, and welcome to the last Fight Chat Friday episode for 2021 from TKD Coach Academy. So this time we're going to have a look back at the European Championships just gone, and we're going to pick out some of our favourite shots and just tell everybody what we liked about them, highlight some of the fighters that were doing some fantastic stuff at the championships, and hopefully you enjoy them as much as we did. So stay with us for that.
There you go, everyone. So a bit of a taster of what's to come, some juicy shots in there. So I'm excited to have a look at these and chat through them. So that's a nice way as well to finish the year on a high. So there's been some lovely shots in there that we're going to chat through. But
Absolutely.
Speaking on ending the year on a high, Adrian, we do have our end of year email popping out there really soon on New Year's Day. So if you want to get all the lessons and the big things that we've taken away from this year, make sure and get onto our email newsletter. It will be the first link below in this video in the description. So lots of important takeaways and the things that were most popular this year. So make sure and get involved before New Year's to get that email sent directly to your inbox.
Perfect. So yeah, I suppose the idea behind this one was we've just had a European Championship, since the first time in a while we've had action, and a great opportunity for people, of course, to, I suppose, in the follow-up to that, to add to their highlight reels and pick out some of the best stuff that's happened. And we know we're always talking about the percentage shots, the stuff that works again and again, and at the same time though, we're fans of the game, and it's great to see the high excitement shots, the really flashy stuff land as well. So just taking an episode to kind of celebrate some of the sweeter shots that landed over the course of the championships.
Yeah, so disclaimer before we go any further, we don't have all the shots that were thrown at the Euros, so this is just a selection that we've taken from based on what we could see, what we remember from the live stream, what Adrian remembers from being there, plus some of the videos that people have sent us on social media. So thank you to all those people. So just as a disclaimer, we don't have them all. As a second disclaimer, these are not all shots that officially landed, but they're shots that, in terms of the scoreboard, but they're shots that made a bit of contact and were nice, juicy shots. So just a quick disclaimer on that.
Yeah, and again, so people know what we're getting into this episode, we've about 15 or 16 different shots that we're going to feature. And myself and Richie will just take it in turns to talk through the shots, what we liked about it, why we think it's a significant one to have. And, hopefully by the end of that, you'll have your own opinions. We'll share some of ours, and we might have a little bit of a poll just to see what people, felt was the top shot of the competition. And of course, if you've got a shot that we missed, we'd love to see it, because as fans of the game, we'd love to be seeing all of the best shots, and we don't want to wait for everyone to create their highlight reels. So if you have some video footage or a timestamp for a good shot, we'd love to see it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Adrian, before we get stuck into it, will we share some of the exciting news we have coming up for the new year?
Yeah, absolutely. We can get into that. So we have a little bit of something to add to our YouTube offering coming up in the new year, and the simplest way that we could describe it is there will be a members only offering, which is a new departure for us, something we've never done before and something we're really excited about. So Richie, do you want to kind of talk through some of the things we might be offering there?
Yeah, so obviously we've done Fight Chat Friday now for a long time. So what we're looking to do is to help people bring the more practical side to the lessons that we share. So myself and Adrian will be sharing some practical live training sessions based on some of the topics that we cover, and how you can train this to essentially put these lessons into your game in sparring. So check that out in the new year. Keep an eye out for the join button. It's not live yet, but keep an eye out for it in the new year. And the quickest way for you to find out about this is to, as we already mentioned, sign up for our email newsletter, because we will be sending an email out to people to let everybody know when this is live and what the offering will be and things you can expect, what value you can get from this. So make sure and get involved there if you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think our idea there is that some things come up in conversation the whole time. Whenever we're reviewing a bit of video, an idea comes forward and we start talking about how we would apply it or what we would do in training, but we never get to show that part. So I think this is a way for us as well to create a group of people who are exploring these things together, looking at how do we take these ideas, explore them, try them out, see what works, ditch what doesn't, and basically advance the game.
Yeah, and just as a heads up as well, we're not ditching the regular Fight Chat Friday. It will still be there. Still, every single week we're going to be committing to that. It's just as an extra for people who may be really interested in the things that we talk about and the training philosophies and methodologies that myself and Adrian try to follow. So it's just as a little bit of a bonus extra for some people that may be interested.
All right, and with that, I think we'll jump into the first bit of action. And Richie, you might give us a bit of commentary on this one. So this was from the male 63s.
Yeah, so this is Jamie Williams here, who is against Cody. So nice little 360 on the exit. So nice little shot. Hard to do on the back foot as well. So special mention there for that. And nice little clip around. Would have definitely gave him more bonus points if he could turn the foot over. But sure, look, still a sweet shot. And Jamie actually featured a couple of times in some of the shots we have. No bias by being a friend of the show and also his coach being in the hot seat. So yeah, I'm sure we'll see Jamie coming up again. But yeah, lovely shot. And this is important because we don't really see too many fancy shots, so it's nice to have these thrown in the mix, and it just brings a bit of attention and more highlight to the sport. So anyone who can land those shots, props to them. Nice shot from Jamie.
Yeah, nice exit. Next one we're looking at is James Toot in the junior male team sparring versus Slovenia and against a slightly taller opponent. But I think slips in an absolute beautiful headshot, and I think that actually takes that match for him as well. But it's the creating that little bit of backward pressure, and I love the change up on this. It goes from such a relaxed, casual fashion, and then kind of sneaks up over the side, and it's never entirely clear as you're looking at it develop whether it's going to end up being a hook kick to the open side or that blind side turning kick. And I think that really is what I liked about this shot. It's how sneaky that chamber is.
And it's just the fact it gets stuck as well. It's just like it's so clear as day then.
Yeah. It does really highlight it. I think it's it was just a lovely clear finish, and that's what you want in your team sparring. We're staying with the team sparring as we go to have a look at Adelina Alicia Mihai from Romania. So Richie, take it away.
Yeah, so nice high chamber on her kick, and again a kind of similar idea, that over the top hack. So nice little shot. Now the camera angle here isn't great, but still a lovely shot to be able to transition that from the side kick whoop into the head. Nice shot. Yeah,
it's a really sweet finish, and it just comes off that carry and a little bit of a change up as well, but really nicely taken. So on to our fourth one then, and for me this is almost out of the surprise element as well. We have John Moffat with an edge of the ring pulling the opponent into an area, and this is Marcin Blicharski from Poland, but it is classic principles. He's shortened the stance, he's pulled him in, and then the Nerio over the shoulder, and I just thought, good application of basic principles, and a really nice return on it for John, who, if you don't know, wouldn't be a trademark downward kick merchant. He's not landing them day in day out at squads, but it was a really nice finish on the occasion to bring out there. So we move on. There is again a little bit of bias in some of these early ones, because again we have watched an awful lot of the Irish, so a few more Irish turning up maybe than we'd like to be featuring here, but I promise we do get into the other countries as it goes. So Richie, a little bit of work from Camille here, and this would be trademark Camille.
Yeah, I love this one. The ability to just change there. It's like there's not many people can do that. It's like his leg was on the way down. So yeah, crazy shot. Really nice. I like this one. Yeah,
there's some strength as well to be able to pull the shot up to the head from the position. You could even say just to get around the hands to bring it up there. I think that was a really nice signature kind of thing for Cameron. And any of the guys that are training point sparring against him in squads know he's capable of that. So yeah, but for a big guy who's well over 6 foot, to be doing that with their leg is always kind of impressive to see.
Yeah, nice shot.
Then we have one from Magomed, which again, this one, yeah, probably doesn't actually, get on the scoreboard, or you'd have to question whether or not it should, but it's just beautifully picked in terms of hitting that belt and squeezing in under the guard. It's a lovely back kick. Whether he was in the ring or not at the time that was thrown is, maybe a matter for the courts, as they say.
Yeah, but it still takes the wind out of his opponent more than likely. So it's still something can be effective, even if it's not effective on the scoreboard as well. So nice shot.
So Richie, over to you with another back kick.
Yeah, we have a couple of back kicks. This is a lovely one. So really, really nice. But that's not it. So then as it comes through, here's the second one. So it's actually, do you know what? It's interesting that a couple of these ones we've seen are actually double back kicks. We actually seen it in a few clips.
That's right.
So it's kind of interesting how that works, isn't it? You kind of get stuck with a bit of a back kick, and then they come at you again, and then you get the second one. So it's interesting how that works.
And that was Maxim from Ukraine, but definitely, and even the missing the first shot and then taking the second shot as it goes and off the opposite side. It's a nice kind of display of skill as well to have the back kick available on both sides, but. It's quite near. I like that one as well because it went from a defensive one to almost an attacking one. Like there was quite a change between the two shots, and kind of the first one kind of dealing with an attacking movement, but it misses, gets away with it somehow, and then it's it's definitely more of an attacking one. Yeah, it's quite nice. This one I remember I was actually at ringside for this one, so we had Miguel Serrano and against Theo Lutz here, who was, I suppose they're both up in 70 kilos now, and Theo was the European Junior Champion, I think. Was it Senior?
Yeah.
European Senior Champion at 63. So and this match has been a reasonably close match, and then this was a absolutely lovely setup for the downward kick and even the invite into the back kick. I just really like the setup of it because it's come from that backward pressure into the ring, and again a little bit like John Moffat's one earlier there, he's kind of invited Theo to kind of push forward and come into that downward kick, and again to come back into his space, and he makes it look very casual, and from the point of view you think he's up against a weak opponent, he most certainly is not. And I think the fact that he can make it look that casual, it just shows really good control of distance and giving his opponent the information, as in, no, you need to push towards me. Great, I'll pick that shot.
Yeah, like we're looking at aesthetic shots and visually tasty shots here today, and the fact that he kind of gets that lean, and anybody who can do that on the axe kick, it just makes it that little bit sweeter.
So on to the girls again, and Richie, we have Mira Stjoval in the final of the female 62s.
Yeah, this is a sweet shot, and this was a one full of headshots. This final, shout out to Master Thierry who sent us on this one. Congrats on your recent promotion as well. So he sent us in this clip of his student. Really nice shot. Yeah, just the timing of it. That you can see the push pull on the footwork. Really nice timing on that. Great shot. Yeah,
absolutely. And and it is one of those things where when you see the bandies coming in, particularly on the female side of it, you see a lot of guys from particular countries will throw it, but they're in the female game it isn't as popular a shot as you'd see in a lot of the guys. So it's great when you see the spinning shots come out from the women and doing a great job of it there and timing it perfectly. This next one was a tough match, and Ukraine. There's two features in this one, so we've or even three, as it were. So a nice attempt at the Nerio, but this kind of sets up a sequence of shots, and a really nice display of skill and distance, I think, from Ukraine. So again, that's that double back kick that you were talking about.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, they're fond of a back kick for sure.
I have to say I'm with them on that. I do love a good back kick, and it really does take the wind out of your sails when it lands like that. I mean, I don't think it's sunk in for Will just yet that it's landed, and he'll certainly feel it in a few seconds.
Yeah, I think that, like we mentioned it earlier, I think that the fact that if you hit someone with a back kick, their first thought is, right, let's charge at them and get those scores back with hands, because they're already close, and then it just sets up the second one so often.
And in this case, yeah, he was looking to pressure and close the distance, and we got that kind of step in he pushed the distance too close, and Vladislav there was just standing ready with the backhand, and this one it didn't lead to disqualification, so that but you could definitely see where unfortunately Will was just caught square. It's a really good straight cross to the jaw. It's going to have an effect, but just that sequence from the 2 link back kicks to the closing the distance into the backhand, I just thought, really, really nice control of distance and movement there from Ukraine. So we have now for you another Ukrainian and another series of back kicks. So maybe talk us through this one.
I actually really like this one. So it's the little bit of extension that he gets from it as well. It's just like separating the distance between himself and the opponent. This is a beauty of a shot. So here's the first one, and again, like we said, there's 2 of them coming, so it's crazy how that works out. But the push into his opponent and then the pull back out is what I really like. It's a beauty. And
then we end up with a little bit of after these ones, a bit of an end of match kind of finisher attempt as well, which is just for a bit of style points.
Nice to finish on that, yeah. So we need to train those 360s and 540s for when you're winning 4-0, isn't it?
And the last few seconds of the match, but and it's quite interesting because it starts again off the back leg, and it's like, oh, okay, you've done something, and then it's just like a change of plan. We'll go to that, and again, whether it lands or not isn't really relevant. It you are getting your opponent out of the ring at the end, and it is just keeping you safe and keeping those scores up. And why not do it with a little bit of additional style? I think that's that's brilliant.
Yeah, Ukrainians are known for their bit of flair on their shots, so yeah.
I want to give you this next one as well because you found this one and it was the winning shot from the Polish senior female team. So just to give a bit of context on it.
Yeah, I love this one because of the context. This is the final of the senior female team sparring, and this shot by Poland actually wins the whole match for Poland. So you can see the team go wild here, and just a beauty of a shot in the last dying seconds to be able to pick off. So she was actually down and this flipped the score. So just the context of this makes it a great shot as well.
You can really enjoy it in the moment, and I think to appreciate that in the highlight reel you have to understand that context. I think it's really, really important.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that the dreams are made of, isn't it? When you're like dreaming of, okay, in the final, doing it for the team, getting that last second shot that switches it over. So that's what dreams are made of for sure.
But I mean, how many Disney movies finish with the seconds to go on the clock, and you need the score to win, and it comes to the the underdog player or whatever it happens to be. But like that's if you can do it anyway, picking the headshot in the final second to flip the scoreboards and win the match for your team it's pretty special. We're going to jump over to one more back kick, this time from England. So we had the younger of the Denisovich brothers getting hit with it by Ukraine, and this time the older brother Shimon is giving it back against Norway. But I quite like just the timing and the connection of this because, again, it's just the principles in application. It's the knees down, heels close, the angle of the leg, the body travelling away. Everything is just like, yep, that's nice. He's drawn him into it. He's found a really lovely angle for it, and I think, what's worse as well for Norway is, he's caught at that moment of extension of the arm, and we all know when those ribs get spread out, the back kick is extra value. So, it's a good one.
A thinking shot that was right deep in there. So, and you can see it by the separation that he gets after the shot as well. It's just beauty. So
we have Vitaly next for you.
Yeah, great shot. Vitaly's one of those people who we said earlier, he always tries to finish the match on a high, and he'll always try to give something for you to have a look at. So I think this is towards the end of this bout.
Oh, definitely,
and lovely shot on the exit, beauty. Nice one to be able to pull off and finish the match on a high. Definitely.
And against a quality opponent, and they've had a good match, but you get to try these things when the match is almost done, when there's seconds left, when you can afford a warning, you can try some of these things, and sometimes those are the ones that give you the highlight reel as such. So good to have it. Next up, I've got kind of two of the same combination or sequence from Ziga Zigoransky from Slovenia. and this is again against Norway. But, you know, really, really, really good use of that front leg downward kick and the follow up with hands to just create all of that change of momentum. So we've got potentially a 3-point score, follow up with the hands, improve your ring position, drive your opponent out of the ring. Happy days, you know.
Yeah, the chamber he takes on this as well, Adrian, is quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking just like a front leg turning kick, a front leg side kick, maybe a hook, and it does kind of get that lovely big reach and extension, even without too much body lean, which is quite impressive, really.
Oh, lovely.
And I think you can see it better, on this first one where, again, even the shoulder, everything is looking low, and I think that you know, that kind of feint where the shoulder is down, the hand is down, and then it changes up.
There's a slap off that.
There is a little bit, isn't there? But I think it's all of that signaling, you know, the drop of the shoulders, the head down, the hand signaling towards the ground, and then all of a sudden, without too dramatic a shift in the body, the knee is up and he's going for the head. And, you know, he landed a couple of those against our Paul Heaven, and it was very effective. And I think just the ability to carry that way and the effect of the kick, like the visual effect of the kick, is brilliant, you know. We had just one sequence with a bit of hands, so if you want to finish on that one.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie featuring twice. So yeah, nice. I just like the pull of this, really. It's just a nice little shot. It's just an unfortunate one that Cody kind of almost oversteps the mark and slips into it, but it's just a nice little sequence of a bit of body movement, bit of head movement, and nice little hands to finish it off, because we didn't have many hands. Like, we get a lot of blitzes in ITF and a lot of reverse punches, but they're not really, you know, ones that really stick out in the mind because we see them so often. So it's nice to see a little slip and pull there, and the hand shots from Jamie.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, we see these like beautiful long side kicks where a person is speared on the end of it. We see those lovely front leg turning kicks or downward kicks straight to the head, you know, and they're really, really nice. But for it to stand out or for it to look a little bit special, I think you need to be kind of catching your opponent out with it completely, and you know, you're looking for, I think, that little bit of extra style, you know, that it stands out. But you know, and I do agree, like the hands there was good simply because most of the hands end up being a trade or they end up being a single, and it's rare enough that you can have, you know, some punches at different ranges and different angles and looking like there's some decent contact with all of them. So yeah, if we jump back through those, I think we've had 15 or 16 of them there. Like, were there any kind of standouts for you, or were there some that just kind of gave you a little bit of a buzz and you wanted to watch it again?
Yeah, I really like the back kick from the 63 junior from Ukraine. Or is that 63? Was it 62?
56s.
Division, but that was a lovely one anyway.
Well, there was two actually. So there was the double back kick against Ollie, which was the 50s. Like that was the really light ones, and then we had the one against Belarus, I think, which was in the 56s. But so this is the one. This is the double back kick against England.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
Beauty
the one.
of a shot, that.
Yeah.
Like that for me, that's a standout. What about you?
Do you know, I keep going back to I like James Tooth's one against Slovenia. Just again, some of it is the context. You know, it was a big shot against a big opponent. You know, at a big time. There was that. And I just like how he slips his shoulder with it. But like, you know, like yourself, I'm a bit of a sucker for the back kicks, and I really did enjoy the double back kicks, and in particular, Szymon Denisovic's one, you know, against Norway. I just, for me, the difference between that one and the Ukrainian ones was, I like that it's how I teach the back kick, if that makes sense. So it's like, there was really, really good contact, but with a high knee and a rounder kick and a bigger jump with the Ukrainians, whereas I think Szymon did you know, he had that longer one, making the distance, the knee low, the heel high, you know, and it was just like, yep, if you wanted to take one out of, with my textbook in terms of like how I think of the back kick going, it's like that's the one. Versus, you know, if we take let's take this back kick where, and particularly if we look, this is the problem I see is that the knee was too wide and we make that miss, but then he lands an absolute beaut and makes me a liar, in the second one. It's a case of it's not that it can't work, and and we've seen some beautiful, and even in doubles, but for me the one from Shimon was but that's how I'd like it to happen, to be done, and when it's right and it's on the right distance and everything, I love that one.
Yeah, brilliant. Some lovely shots there. So usually we're all about the results and what matters on the scoreboard, but nice change up today to see the nice aesthetic shots, because as we said, most of the Euros was people with high intensity doing the basics really well, and that's what works, and that's where you get the return, which is very important. But it's nice as well to have these fancy shots in there, because it just brings the eyeballs to it a bit more, and that's nice as well. So it's important to highlight the people who can pull it off at the top level.
Absolutely. And I mean, in the end, we all want to see these shots. There's no two ways about it. We'd love to see more of them. But you have to give respect to your opponent. Your opponent, if you're attempting something fanciful, your opponent is going to be capable of most of the time at the highest level. They're not going to let you do a 540, or they're not going to let you do a step over, whatever it happens to be. But that's where really well executed shots, like the back kick, like the bandeau, like the downward kick over the shoulder, like those 360s, they're not super hard to do, but you have to create the right moment for them. And it's when you see somebody create the right moment, the right distance, the right lure, and then apply it, it's just really lovely to see. Those are the scores that we really do enjoy.
Yeah, so now we want to know what your favorite is. So put it in the comments. Let us know what's your favorite, what's your top three maybe, and even give a context why. So let us know what your favorite is. Do you agree with myself and Adrian? Are you a fan of a back kick? Is there another one you like? So let us know. And a nice way to round off Fight Chat Friday for 2021.
Yeah, that's it for 2021. But of course, we will see everybody in the new year. And don't forget to sign up to the email newsletter. And then on New Year's Day from us, you'll be getting our roundup of 2021. All of the best of the various channels we're on, between YouTube, Instagram, the various different posts and mediums. And hopefully you'll enjoy that before your New Year's dinner. And we'll be back next Friday.